Captain Richard Stanczyk's journey into sport fishing began with a cane pole in St. Louis, Missouri, and grew into a legacy that transformed offshore fishing and inspired thousands to embrace life on the water. He often credits his grandfather for planting the seed. One day, walking around a small lake, his grandfather proudly showed off a bluegill catch. That moment became the anchor for a life defined by passion, mentorship, and unwavering dedication to the ocean. Though Richard earned an accounting degree from the University of Miami, he quickly realized fluorescent lights and ledgers couldn't compete with the pull of a fish or the salt in the air. After long hours in a small office with bars on the window, he reached a breaking point. He picked up the phone, called his mother, and said, "I can't do this anymore." Against the advice of many, including his tearful mother, he walked away from the profession his grandfather had helped him achieve, chasing a dream most considered uncertain. That decision led to years of bold ventures, running a bar and restaurant in Miami, investing in oil fields in Kentucky, even living in Alaska. But fishing was always at the center. By age 15, Richard had run a boat to Bimini on his own. At 19, he caught his first blue marlin off the Bahamas with only a compass, a homemade rig, and no GPS or radio. He slept beside that fish in his boat, afraid he might lose it if the boat sank overnight. That marlin became a symbol of raw determination and the beginning of a storied career. Richard's early days were shaped by curiosity and humility. He learned from legends like Captain Jimmy Albright, whose tough exterior masked a deep well of knowledge and discipline. He fished alongside icons like Captains Harold Adler and Vic Gaspeny, forming friendships that would span decades and help reshape saltwater angling in the Florida Keys. One of Richard's most significant contributions was pioneering daytime sword fishing. While he humbly says, "We didn't discover it, we innovated it," the impact is undeniable. What began in Venezuela, Richard and his team adapted for the challenging waters off Isla Mirada. After years of trial and error, the breakthrough came. In just 2 days, they released 11 broadbills. The technique was later featured in Sport Fishing magazine's cover story, Swordfish Shocker. Swordfish became accessible to a new generation, and the Keys would never be the same. But perhaps Richard's greatest legacy isn't a record or a rig. It's Bud and Mary's Marina. Originally a customer there in the 70s, Richard fell in love with the place long before he imagined owning it. When a deal fell through, he took a leap of faith and purchased the marina, without a business partner and with no guarantee of success. What he built was a haven, a place where captains could build careers, where kids could grow into guides, and where fishing remained authentic and rooted in tradition. Over nearly 5 decades, Bud and Mary's has become a cornerstone of the Keys' sport fishing identity. Richard fondly calls it B&M University, a place where young anglers, dockhands, and mates learn more than fishing. They learn integrity, humility, and resilience. As Richard often says, "I can teach someone how to fish, but I can't teach them character." That belief shaped a culture. He raised his sons Nick and Rick on those same docks. He never pushed them into fishing. They chose it. Today, both are exceptional anglers and professionals, bringing new energy and vision to the family legacy. Through it all, Richard has remained grounded in his original purpose, to preserve the experience of fishing. Yes, the fisheries have changed, technology is different, and the challenges ahead, habitat loss, overfishing, climate impacts, are real. But Richard believes in mentorship. His advice to young anglers is simple. If it's in your blood, you'll find your way. For his lifelong dedication to innovation, mentorship, conservation, and his unshakable belief in the soul of sport fishing, the IGFA is proud to welcome Captain Richard Stanczyk into the IGFA Fishing Hall of Fame.